Okay, friends, welcome back to the channel, and this is probably going to be one of the longest and best videos that I've ever made on my channel. So this is going to be a combination video. It's going to be two videos. The video that Van Valiant played 5, 6, 7 days ago. I don't know when I'm going to release this one. The Butler County, Kansas, no driver's license, no insurance, no registration. I believe she gets her window broken. This chick right here. And it's on the page that I covered on Friday, Power Inherent to the People, who seems to be an idiot. But on the 6th, her in court decided to pop up, and I grabbed it from Old Squishy Gardener's channel. So I'm going to be playing both of these videos today. And again, with that being said, it is going to be long. The original video plus interview is like an hour and 9 minutes. I'm going to probably show much more than Van Valiant showed. I think his video was like 15 minutes. I'm going to show parts of the interview that I find hilarious because the beginning is just chock full of just them talking about everything this stop wasn't. And then we're going to show Judge Hart basically telling her she's a sovereign citizen. She has no idea what she's talking about. And then they go their separate ways after 15 minutes. Or 14 minutes. So this is going to be a long video. Buckle up. Enjoy.
Briefly, before we go into the video, would y'all like to kind of introduce yourselves a little bit more to the world, now that we're on YouTube kind of doing this, and, or will be, about what happened and what transpired, and just any intros before moving into the video?
Okay, Matt first.
Well, Sydney was just gonna go over to Quentin's house to pick up a cake and be, what, who am I?
You're Matthew,
And Matthew.
foundational member of White Dome.
From December. And I got Quentin started in all this, and he just happened to get his pullover first. So I've been helping him through it all, and then Kate got pulled over. I've just been helping everyone out. And then Sydney came here. She moved here in December. And so we've been together since then.
And how's that experience been?
It's great.
Great.
It's great, yeah.
Yeah.
All the pullovers are super fun. You know, it bonds us closer. All that.
Straight up. Okay, so this situation, when did it happen?
So this recent
Wednesday.
experience happened on May 21st,
Yeah, Wednesday.
on Wednesday, and I was just traveling in my own personal conveyance to go to Quentin's house for my cake storage container.
All right, guys, I'm going to jump in from time to time to translate from uneducated stupidity back to normal English. So what she just said was, I was driving on the roadway in my car.
And probably less than a minute before after I left the house, I got pulled over by a corporal, number 51. I forget his name, something with a K, and it was long. And he was very upset. I pulled into a school district parking lot kind of thing. What was it, like the Andover Schools?
Services.
Some type of
place.
service place. And it's funny because on March 12th, I just got pulled over the same spot, but I pulled into the high school parking lot, so Andover High School parking lot. So it's right across the street from where I got pulled over before.
And on March 12th.
On March 12th, so now it's May 21st. So it's always the 3, right? And then I called Matthew again because that's what I did in March. And I was like, Matthew, I got pulled over in the same spot, but across the street. And the guy came up to my window and he was immediately upset. I could tell by the demeanor. And he knocked on my window and he was like, hey, I'm sure that you already know this.
Wait. Now, this is your second pullover
My second pullover.
in less than 60 days.
Yeah, I go, yep. Oh, geez.
Oh, jeez.
So I'm still working through the day before. I actually went to a motions hearing for my other case. So I was just fresh out of court, and the next
Now, there's
day,
a difference
I got
between
pulled over.
these two, though. The difference is on the first one, you were cited, as you should have been, and let go
Yeah.
free on your way, because why?
They told me that, well, I'm pretty sure, I read that it was not an arrestable offense. And I don't know if I can't recall if I told them that it wasn't an arrestable offense last time. And so they didn't, I think Matthew did on we had our one pager with us and he started reading off all these case laws and they were like, whoa, who are these people? And so they ended up just giving me a citation, though they did threaten to break my window the last time in March, but they didn't end up doing that. They gave me a citation. I went on my way.
Again, I'm going to be breaking in regularly to correct this just absolute stupidity. So, back in my day where I worked in Michigan, if you were driving without a valid driver's license, if it was suspended, if you didn't have one at all, you were immediately arrested. And just for shits and giggles, I looked up if you can be arrested for driving without a valid driver's license in Kansas, where this took place. And yes, the law says all drivers must provide a valid driver's license when operating a motor vehicle on public highways. Failure to comply with this can lead to criminal charges. And I got the first offense, subsequent offenses, but this is the important part. Law enforcement officers in Kansas have the authority to arrest individuals found driving without a valid driver's license. The decision to arrest may depend on various factors, including the circumstances of the offense and the driver's history. Now, if this was her first traffic stop the first time, they may have said, you know what, we'll trust you this time. Get your shit figured out. Here's a ticket. But then, what was it, 60 days, 90 days later? She got pulled over for the exact same shit again. Yes, they're probably going to arrest you. So you can be arrested in Kansas for driving without a valid driver's license.
But they didn't even tow my car or anything. They just let me go. And it was for the same exact reason that I got pulled over this time on Wednesday.
So
And
no moving violation, no pose safety risks to any members of the public.
nope, there was no verified complaint, and there was no crime happening at all. It was just me getting a cake container.
So they were investigating a cake container?
I didn't even have it on me, so I don't know what investigating.
It must have
I
been
asked
missing.
several times who was hurt, who's the injured party, and they kept telling me society was.
So this is the no victim, no crime fallacy. We've seen it thousands of times, I feel like, on my channel, where this does not hold up anywhere. You don't need to kill someone for there to be a reason to pull you over. Society is the victim. By this guy's logic, drunk driving shouldn't be a crime. Attempted murder shouldn't be a crime. This is the type of nonsensical bullshit we have to deal with. Now, this is the thing that gurus in basically every space try to do. They have an argument that makes them look bad. So they try to pivot to a different argument. So now it's, no, they pulled her over for a valid reason, found out she didn't have a license, no insurance, and no registration. But now he's going to make it about a cake pan. Oh, they must have been investigating the cake pan. No, they were investigating her driving illegally. But because that makes your page look bad, you're going to pivot to the cake pan.
I'm going to mute.
Oh my gosh.
Hurry, I'm at the, right where I turned again, right when I turned. I'm at Andover Public Schools Support Services.
I was being kid, and I just jumped up, grabbed my motorcycle, and ran.
Oh, I'm just traveling. So this is when he's gonna come up to my window, and it's funny because he says, "As you already know," so that's pretty discriminatory.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, the reason why I'm stopping you probably know. Your tag is not a registered tag.
Oh, I'm just traveling. I'm not acting in commerce right now.
Okay.
Could I get your? Is there an emergency? I saw your emergency lights on. I'm here to help.
Sorry.
I'm here to help. I see your emergency lights are on.
Okay. The reason why I'm stopping.
Is there an emergency?
Conducting a traffic stop.
Oh, but I'm not in traffic.
Yes, you are.
Do you know what the term traffic means?
Are you a sovereign citizen? Is that what this is?
Did you say sovereign citizen? And so that's when he said the sovereign citizen. And yeah, so I asked him again, if you heard, I asked him what traffic meant. I was starting to ask the terms because it seemed like he didn't know. Obviously, he was using them incorrectly.
I know this is going to come as a shock to none of you. She claims the officer's using the word traffic incorrectly, using the term traffic incorrectly. So I use the Cornell Law School's Legal Information Institute portion of their website. As per the Cornell Law School's Legal Information Institute, traffic is defined as the movement of vehicles or pedestrians through an area or along a route. Ma'am, you were taking a vehicle through an area or along a route. Therefore, you are traffic. And this is a traffic stop. I hate to break it to you. In my opinion, it all stems from them not understanding the term employ from Black's Law Dictionary, 2nd edition from 1910. They're taking the word employ to mean I am paying you to do a thing, aka commerce, when in reality, the term employ, even as per that dictionary, means to just make use of something. And ma'am, you are making use of your vehicle, therefore you are driving. So you need a driver's license.
So,
Straight up.
citizen? What does that mean?
Tell me.
That sounds like a derogatory thing. And then he asks me to tell him what that meant. Why would you call somebody a name if you don't even know what that means?
Straight up.
All right.
Assuming that's what you identify as.
I do not. What is a sovereign citizen?
Do you have a driver's license?
I'm not driving. I'm traveling. So I don't need to. This is a secondary offense that you're.
Not first time I've
This is a second. I don't know if you guys could hear it, but he said it's not the first time that I've dealt with you guys.
Sovereign citizen movement, also SOVCIT movement or SOVCITs, is a loose group of anti-government activists, conspiracy theorists, vexatious litigants, tax protesters, and financial scammers found mainly in English-speaking common law countries, the United States, Canada, Australia, the United Kingdom, and New Zealand. Sovereign citizens have their own pseudo-legal belief system based on misinterpretations of common law. and claim not to be subject to any government statutes unless they consent to them. The movement appeared in the US in the early 1970s and has since expanded to other countries. A similar Freemen on the Land movement emerged during the 2000s in Canada before spreading over to the Commonwealth countries. The FBI called sovereign citizens anti-government extremists who believe that even though they physically reside in the country, they are separate or sovereign from the United States. Ma'am, if you don't want to be called a sovereign citizen, maybe stop acting like it. You are by definition a sovereign citizen. The anti-government activist fits. A conspiracy theorist fits. It literally says, where is it? They have their own pseudo-legal belief system. Yes, everything you just said, you made up. It's not based in actual law.
Yeah.
So he's continuing on this sovereign citizen stuff.
Okay, so a blatant retaliation and attack, it seems like at this point then.
It was very hostile. I feel scared already the whole time. Secondary offense that you. What is your name and your badge number? What is it?
We'll barricade.
Okay, Corporal
Barricade.
Barrican, and then 51.
Yep.
Okay. Are you Matthew? Are you headed here? And notice he's still not asked my name or anything to identify me. He's just asking
True.
for my driver's license, which I think that is illegal for me to give it to him because I wasn't driving. I'm just traveling in my own personal conveyance. I'm trying to follow all the laws.
Correct.
Driver's license.
I don't need to provide you anything because I'm not. You're doing a secondary offense. Well,
No, man, this is a lawful traffic.
this is not lawful.
It is lawful. You're in the state of Kansas, you have to operate.
Okay. Do you know what traffic means? What's the term traffic? What's the word traffic mean? Matthew, are you
You
coming?
don't have to make this difficult.
I don't have to make this difficult. I'm not making anything difficult. No, I'm not.
Go one or two ways and you know how it's gonna go.
One or two.
And that's, yeah, he's like, it's going to go one or two ways, and you know how it's going to
Yeah.
go.
What is that supposed to mean?
That
I
and the
never-
aspect he still hasn't asked. He still hasn't asked for your ID. I mean, he still hasn't asked your name. He hasn't even given you an opportunity.
Right. He is only demanding my insurance and my driver's license. Not my name. He's not being friendly at all.
15 minutes into the video, I'm realizing I probably should have just made this a live stream. I'm cutting in too much, and I apologize, but I'm just going to continue. Because I've never seen three people go out of their way to sound uneducated, ignorant, and dumb. There's no retaliatory stop here. They pulled you over for doing the same thing that they already pulled you over for. Oh, they're not asking for my name. They're only asking for my driver's license. Oh, you mean the thing that's required for you to drive? Oh, that's crazy. Oh, the insurance and registration that you are required to have on your vehicle? Like, what are we even doing here? Like, what are we talking about? Like, I understand that they're just trying to do this to, like, in my opinion, scam for money and grift from even dumber people, which I don't know how that's possible. But, like, why are we here? They're not retaliating. Oh, they only wanted my driver's license. Duh, because you have to have one to drive. If not, they're going to arrest you. We've seen, again, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of videos of window break, window smash, up to jail, convicted. It is what it is. And they're doing this in Kansas. We've seen, oh my God, I'm drawing a blank, Judge Webster, possibly. We live in her courtroom. Like several court watchers, myself and others, we've covered dozens of sovereign citizens in her courtroom, and she treats them the way that we all want them to be treated. She treats them like they're idiots. And shocker, again, this is going to have a little bit of a court hearing after this. The judge says, okay, yep, you're going to go in front of Judge Webster for your next court date. So this chick isn't going to have a good time.
Two
Now,
ways.
at this point-
I'm cooperating.
I'm asking you for documents, so your driver's license and your insurance.
I don't need to provide any of that to you. I'm not acting in commerce. I'm not an Uber or Lyft. No, I don't. Why are you? At this point, yeah, he's trying to open my door now. Opening the door. Am I under arrest or am I free to go? Am I under arrest? Corporal 51, am I under arrest? You're not answering my questions.
Oh, wow.
And I think I asked him 3 times if I'm under arrest or free to go, and he just stops asking or answering questions.
I know that right there is
I
very
feel
major.
nervous and
Like that all of these points, actually the point of him trying to open up the door, from that point it's all suppressed, I would think. Because again, that's an illegal action of trying to intrude into the car without having a reasonable articulable suspicion of any danger or probable cause of a crime, while they've already made threats of violence, such as this is going to go one of two ways.
And you already know, yeah, that's
It's like, what are you insinuating? What do you mean it's going to go one of two ways? I'm confused. What are you trying to say? You're going to hurt me for what? What have I done? Yeah, it's bad.
Yep.
It's pretty bad.
scared, so I'm trying to make sure that this is open. No, I don't need to do that.
Why are you up here?
Oh, and then this is already where
Okay.
Matthew
Now I'm,
came.
yeah, I'm already showing up.
2 minutes and 48 seconds. Isn't that a great response time?
Just to record this. Guys, you can go over there and wait for my stop.
He doesn't need to. He doesn't need to. His name's Corporal. I don't know what his name is. Barkin. He seems very upset. He already said sovereign citizen.
Oh no.
Yeah, he said,
Oh,
so
no.
you identify as a sovereign citizen? And I asked him to explain what that means. I have my book and I just grabbed my thing. I mean, as in my book, as in my whole travel binder, and I was going to start going through the Eddie Craig script, but it kind of got hostile after this.
All right, guys. So I haven't heard of Eddie Craig or had Eddie Craig right to travel traffic stop script for years, like more than a decade at this point, because it was bullshit. Eddie Craig, I'll pull this video up. This is the script. He's a former deputy, and he's trying to translate, let me see if I remember correctly, Texas state law into Washington state law, running it through every bullshit sovereign citizen filter you can, and then sprinkling it with horseshit on top. So that's what she's talking about. Thank God she didn't go into it. It's a 49-minute script of him saying, but this one paragraph out of an entire Supreme Court decision, that's what it actually means. It's kind of like the Chile indestructible trifold or whatever the fuck it was called. That's basically what this was. It seems like Eddie Craig was Chile before Chile was Chile. While Chile was still trying to be the Black Power Ranger, Eddie Craig was already grifting on the internet.
I still have my other citation.
Okay. I'm starting.
I don't even have a tampon. Oh, I was also on my period.
I'm gonna start a recording,
Yeah, do it.
but we have to be on the phone.
Yeah, he was on his motorcycle, so he had a helmet on, so he couldn't, and we couldn't be on the phone together, so it kind of was unfortunate, but he did end up videoing kind of right. Oh, okay, yeah.
So the video's been turned on.
That's my car and his motorcycle.
Hey, I saw the text.
Okay, yeah, I'm getting pulled over. Now I'm calling Quentin, the guy that had my cake container, so this is Quentin that's in the group too. By this corporal. He's calling me a sovereign citizen.
Okay, are you recording?
Yeah, Matthew's here and he's getting yelled at by the corporal.
In Andover?
Take off your helmet so we can hear you. Yeah, in Andover. It's literally right where I got stopped before. It's right beside the high school, right on the other side.
Don't worry about me. Do your thing.
Okay, I'm just letting you know.
Thank you.
All right,
Bye.
sounds good.
And y'all are on private property.
Cam? I don't have his number. For some reason, I said I didn't have Cam's number. It was just in the heat of the moment. I forgot all things. I was like, wait, I do have his number.
Look at this guy.
Oh, I do have his number.
How angry.
I just don't have Matthew's body.
That shirt's very tight.
He wants to look stronger. I'm calling him. I'm calling Cam. I'm calling Cam.
Step away from the car. I'm not going to tell you again.
He's not. He's just he's.
Hop out and talk to me.
No, why do I?
Window if you don't get out.
You're gonna.
Already, I said, hop out, I'll break the window if you don't get out.
Is that a threat?
I'm going to break the
Is that a threat? Is that a threat? You're not answering any of my questions.
I don't have to answer your question.
I don't
Why
have
don't
to
they
answer
make
your
shirts
questions.
his size?
He says I don't have to answer your questions.
Yeah, and I'm confused by that. Like, isn't he? That yeah. I'm not getting pulled over for any reason. This is unlawful.
Hey, it's your boy Cam.
Sorry, y'all. I was in a meeting.
He's okay.
But right now that he's calling his other buddies over.
Yeah, when I'm in a meeting, the notifications are just
Oh,
on.
and-
He banged the door handle 4 times to try to get in.
He's opening my door handle, and he's not.
Look at him, so desperate. So desperate. For what? For what?
Yeah, what am I doing wrong? What am I supposed to do? He's gonna break my window. Why are you threatening me?
Okay. This last chance.
He pulled me over for an unlawful stop. I'm just
It's not a lawful
traveling.
Stop. Get out of the vehicle.
Why isn't it? Can you explain that to me?
In the state of Kansas, you have to have the vehicle registered. You have to have a valid driver's license, and you have to.
Where's the proof of that? Tell me give me the evidence. What's
All right, because reasons, and I really like making sovereign citizens look dumb. So we've got Kansas statute. Let's see here. KSA 8-235, subsection A. No person, except those expressly exempt, shall drive any motor vehicle upon a highway in the state unless such person has a valid driver's license. In essence, that makes it illegal for anyone to drive on a Kansas highway without a driver's license. And then we've got, KSA 8-244 subsection A states every licensee shall have such person's driver's license in such person's immediate possession at all times while operating a motor vehicle. So basically, you have to have a valid driver's license to legally drive on a public roadway. Shock, gasp, who would have called that? Oh, that's right. Every normal person since the Supreme Court ruled in the early 1900s. Oh, okay. Yeah, she's just traveling. She's just there to help because she saw the lights. Ma'am, please seek help. Like, please seek help. Like, you're in a group of sovereign citizens trying to get away with breaking the law because you want to intentionally misquote definitions or misquote statutes, Supreme Court decisions, yada yada. Like, good luck.
Your badge number and your name, please.
Sergeant Tharp, and I'm sheriff number 30.
And what's the emergency? What's the emergency? Because I see emergency lights on. I'm here to help.
Or the window's going to be busted out and you're going to be dragged.
Is that a threat? You're going to harm me.
It's not a threat. It's a promise.
It's a promise, but isn't that threatening me and my safety?
Get out of the vehicle or we're going to get you out.
I'm not doing anything
You're
wrong.
under arrest at this point.
I'm under arrest.
You're under arrest at this point.
Okay, you haven't even asked my name. You haven't
You're
asked
under arrest
anything.
at this point.
Now
For
I'm
what?
under arrest too.
For refusing to provide a driver's license, illegal registration. Have you shown proof of insurance yet?
Pause it! Pause it! Did this nigga just say illegal registration, y'all?
Yes.
He did. And we're like, what?
Can we look this up? Can we do a little research piece with you, Matthew? Look it up on the screen real quick. What does illegal registration mean in the state of Kansas? Let's see what we got. We need an illegal arrest.
The other thing I'd point out is you don't live in the state of anything.
Thank you. You're not a resident. You're not required to do anything.
I don't even have a valid driver's license in Kansas anyways. So.
What's it say? This is an illegal registration.
All right, we're going to address this for 3 seconds. I'm going to cut out their intellectual dishonesty going down the rabbit hole of Chat GPT telling them what an illegal registration is. Obviously, the officer who's about to break the window of a sovereign citizen, a group known to be extremely violent, and some government agencies refer to them as domestic terrorists, he's about to break their window and arrest them. After they made a legal traffic stop, and then some random fucking Yahoo showed up on scene. So yeah, it's probably a pretty stressful situation. So he misspoke. But instead, these people are going to be incredibly intellectually dishonest and say, oh, illegal registration. And not to mention, dipshit, you don't live in anything. You're in the state of Kansas. There's a reason why after this arrest, you show up in Kansas court. If I remember correctly, it is Butler County, Kansas court. So if you don't reside anywhere, why'd you show up to court? Like asking for a friend.
All that we're not doing. We're not doing either.
He said it's not a threat, it's a promise.
I
did too.
Yeah, that's another huge one.
It's a promise. Okay.
And this
I'm
is
not
a
doing
sergeant.
anything
This
wrong.
is a sergeant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a corporal, or I was confused by that, but
At this point.
I'm under arrest.
You're under arrest at this point.
Okay, you haven't even asked my name. You haven't asked
They
anything.
arrested me
For
so
what?
fast.
For refusing to provide a
held up
driver's
my phone, I'm
license,
like,
illegal
I got this
registration.
recorded.
Have you shown proof of insurance yet? And
He's-
at this point.
Okay, wait, pause. Okay, you gotta talk about what's going on here. What just happened?
Go ahead.
Well, so with me, he said, so I see there's no tag here. Are you registered? Do you have a license? And I just said no. And then he said, okay, in the state of Kansas, you have to have that. And I said, well, the state of Kansas is a corporation. He's like, no. And then he just grabbed my hands and turned me around, and it was just that fast.
So I have an editor where it makes shorts and it throws up closed captions for me, and regularly they're off. AI is not exactly the best at generating closed captions. So it said illegal again here, but you clearly hear him say a legal registration. So this just goes to show they're being intentionally dishonest, and he just clearly misspoke the first time. And then the guy, oh, I said Kansas is a corporation, and the officer just responded with no. This is the reason why I don't debate sovereign citizens on my channel. You can't argue with dumb people. You said something incredibly dumb, and instead of going, here's why Kansas isn't a corporation, he just said no and then arrested you. It's that easy. If somebody calls you a name that you're clearly not, You don't argue about them of, oh, why you're not that. No, you just call them stupid, you flip them off, you tell them you raw dogged their mother, and you move on.
And so also Matthew.
And then
You're
also,
getting arrested now for what?
Yeah, right. What do you get
yeah,
arrested for?
motorcycle's off, keys were out.
He wasn't.
I had the keys in my pocket.
So he was just
So
arrested.
you literally got arrested and put in handcuffs for what? Sitting on a motorcycle?
Yep.
I don't even think he was sitting on it.
He
was
said
just
that he
standing
said the other guy saw me pull in without a tag.
So it's hearsay. We talked about.
That's
And-
interesting.
And then also something that I don't know what we could do about this one, but he leaned me over the motorcycle in such a way that I had to pull on him to keep myself standing up. Otherwise, I'd fall over. And if I fell over, it would tip over the whole motorcycle and, you know, ruin it.
His kickstand was on his side, so it would have just.
So I didn't want to fall into it and make it fall over.
You know how they have intentional infliction on emotional distress? You could do like an intentional aspect in relation to the assault and or battery.
Also, this cop was being very aggressive with Matthew. He's like, "Don't flex on me! Stop flexing!" He was like literally falling over, trying to like balance himself with this man. He's like being aggressive.
That's standard practice for their record and stuff.
And
So that when they harm you, they have an
He
excuse.
looked like a little limp noodle, and this guy's like, "You're." In his voice, it just sounded like he was trying to.
Yeah, he really made it sound like.
Oh,
Like he's scared that you're a threat and stuff. He's scared for his life. That's what
Yeah.
they're.
Yeah,
yeah, because Matthew's big and.
I was a limp noodle for this dude.
It's
He was
really
acting
really
like-
gross, and it
I would be
makes
scared-
it makes
I
you
would be-
feel like such shit when they do it and stuff because you know that you're like going beyond above and beyond, like just making sure you're not any kind of threat, and they're like, stop doing that, and like getting scared in their voice and everything, and you're like, this is sick, and it makes you feel so messed up.
I would be scared for them too if they're about to assault my wife.
Yeah.
And I mean the thing too is that like we got to remember these are natural reactions that we're having.
Mhm.
You
Yeah,
can't do anything.
It's
but flinch.
unnatural for us to react in the way that we do. Like we're suppressing every normal react. Like that's
Yeah.
it's crazy. And then yeah. Ugh.
Well, yeah, just people saying that you're not supposed to be able to react naturally as we always do. Just like if someone grabs you like that, of course you don't flex. It's like if something's flying at my head, of course I'm gonna dodge it. It's like it's natural. I'm not just gonna sit there and let the rock hit me in the face. Oh yes, please rock hit me. Bow. Like it's natural.
Yeah.
So
Sneak up from behind me and grab my arm like in an aggressive manner or something. 'Cause I just got arrested the other night for a warrant again, and I was just like, "Whoa, hey, oh, okay, you have a warrant? Like, I'd like to see the warrant." And they're like, then like 4 cops like jumped me, and it was just it's just so crazy.
Shit, I have a lot to talk about. Hopefully I can remember everything. But first, I'm going to come at the host. He seems like an absolutely spineless pussy coward. And I'm sorry for my language, but that's how he's coming off. He wants to cry and play victim for everything. You could get emotional distressed for that assault. You were being legally arrested. It's not an assault. Like, know your place. Let's see here. Let's talk about hearsay for a second. That's not hearsay. If an officer tells another officer, hey, this person did this when they pulled in, can you go cuff them while I'm dealing with this situation that I'm currently on? That's not hearsay. This is just them using terms that they clearly don't fucking know. The officer was kind of fearful that this guy was here, so they just arrested him when they realized he was doing something arrestable. Yes, because you guys are sovereign citizens and you just appeared on scene. And he self-snitched. Oh, he just got arrested for more warrants the other day. Yeah, that's probably didn't help your cause if they knew exactly who you were and what you were about. So over the last 2 minutes, 3 minutes, nothing they said was accurate. It was just them trying to play victim so that they can go, my lawsuit. That's all these people are hunting for. And if they did file a lawsuit, it would get thrown back at them like that day.
So I'm interfering. Oh yeah, guys, prepare. My glass is about to shatter all over me. I'm still going to court for the same thing. I don't understand why this is again happening. I still have my citation from last time. I'm still going.
About citation from last time. Get out of the vehicle.
This-
Under arrest. Plus the fucking window. I don't give a shit.
oh my God, he just said bust the fucking windows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did.
And he said, I don't give a shit.
Yep.
Yep. And immediately, not even a second later, they start beating the window 9 times.
9 strikes.
Oh my God, bro. 9 times? Why 9?
Because we knew that it was.
Guy's weak.
It took him 9 times to bust the window?
Yeah, be stronger, dude. For that tight shirt, he should have muscles under there. I didn't do anything wrong. You're hurting me. I have glass in my shoes. I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, I yelled from over wherever I was at. I was like, Sydney, are you okay? And somehow our videos lined up so perfectly to where like the moment my video ended, hers started.
I had a small amount of video that I wanted to show, but I saw the glass coming in through my window right when I turned it on. It was right after he beat through the window finally.
And Sydney, oh my gosh, she had her phone around her neck.
I threw my phone on I had a lanyard on, it broke now, but I threw it on my neck because I was like, I need this because I was supposed to be calling my son at 7 on a Zoom call, and I was focused on all of that as well as getting arrested at the moment. So I had to make sure I was going to text my son's father with handcuffs on. Like I had to plan all of that, and I was able to do it. And
Nice. But having to do this too.
I didn't do anything wrong.
Unlock the car, Bear, okay?
I just have glass in my shoes, so I'm trying to shake them out. It's okay.
You want me to take them off? That way we get the glass out?
That's all right. I can take it.
Now they want to be nice?
And
Yeah, that's how they always work. Once they have you,
bleed on your stuff.
He'll clean it.
Still have bruises on my wrist.
Was you doing that with your mouth?
I had it on my lanyard, so I had like pulled my handcuff there, and I was like trying to.
You're pulling on the string.
Yeah, I was trying to pull on the string so it could get longer. And it took a while, so this is what's gonna happen for a couple minutes. But yeah.
It's so impressive.
And I also went on Discord, and I like, I got onto the general chat, and I was like on the voice call, and then I also like messaged in Discord. You'll hear it, but.
Some people shouldn't be parents. And sovereign citizens keep proving that point over and over and over and over again. How many times have we seen sovereign citizens do this shit in front of their kids or have kids while doing this shit? Like, if you can't even grasp the fact that you need a license to drive, you have no business having a child. And if there's any police officers out there listening to this channel, I know there is, don't let suspects have their phones in the backseat. Just don't. Either take it from them and end whatever they're doing and put it in somewhere for safekeeping, or take it from them, let it roll, and just put it on the hood until that bitch dies. Because right now, she could be doing who knows what. She already called one sovereign citizen to the scene who got arrested. Apparently, there's a Discord full of them. A Discord full of actual domestic terrorists. Like, yeah, I don't want any more of those people squatting up on me on the scene when I believe there's only two officers. And for this whole, ooh, he didn't have very big muscles for that small shirt, it sounded like he was hitting it with more than likely a baton of some kind. Turns out if you hit it hard enough with a baton, it's going to go through the window. So what he's trying to do is hit it with enough force to break the window, but not enough force where he's going to break the window and hit you in the head with it. Which, if he hits you in the head, I don't see any way that you could be dumber. So maybe he should have just done it.
If I may,
Yeah.
that word wrong is deep. Look it up in Black's Law Dictionary. It's deep.
Okay.
It's not just general.
I will right now. Wrong.
What did you hear from today?
That's my motorcycle. Never been registered.
A violation of the legal rights of another, an invasion of rights to the damage of the parties who suffer it, especially a tort. It usually signifies injury to person, property, or relative non-contractual rights of another than wrongdoer, with or without force, but in more extended sense.
It is nice that they said it ain't registered too on camera like that though.
Wrong isn't very good. I've said it a lot.
When did they Mirandize you?
I don't know if they did. Did they Mirandize you?
I never heard that.
The whole time, even in jail, they did.
The only thing though is things in a conversational manner can be submitted. Things that are in an investigatory manner cannot be without Miranda. So
Right. I don't know if they investigated exactly. I mean,
well, questions that are not conversational that you don't want to necessarily have but you have to because that they're pressing you so hard. You know.
I
Anything
finally
is
got
the
it off my neck a little bit more, so it knows. I called something again, I think.
Oh, hey guys, it's me again, the guy who makes sovereign citizens look dumb. So I have a lot to say here. So first off, them bragging about, oh yeah, my motorcycle's never been registered. Well, you done snitched on yourself again, because who must register their vehicle as per KSA 8-127? Every owner of a motor vehicle, trailer, motorized bicycle, or semi-trailer that's intended to be operated in Kansas must be registered. Also, because I'm extra, KSA 40-3118, no vehicle may be registered or re-registered without an active motor vehicle liability insurance. And then we've got operating without a registration, KSA 8-142 and 8-149, operating an unregistered vehicle or without displaying valid plates/decals on the highway is illegal and a misdemeanor under KSA 8-149. So this guy's just fucking him every way till Sunday. Also, the whole Miranda rights thing, I don't believe they asked her or him any questions after they were arrested. Therefore, they don't need to be read their rights because they're not fucking with them at all. Oh, you know what? He did ask a question. Do you want me to take your shoe off to get the glass? I don't think that requires Miranda rights. So, again, these guys are talking straight out of their asshole.
This is kind of the place where you learn to keep your mouth shut.
What's that?
Did they ever request you to open your door?
No.
No,
They said
yeah,
maybe
I think
step
they said,
out.
Go ahead and hop out. Hop out.
Yeah, hop out.
But hop out of what?
Yeah, but again, it's unreasonable.
No, they did. They said they instructed her because that's something that stands out to me when this stuff happens, because I was getting bit by a dog and I still had to, they wouldn't unlock the door and everything. Like I still had to unlock the door for them, like private property and all that shit. Like they're not warranted. And they did in the video. I heard them say,
Get out of
unlock
the
your
car.
window for me.
Oh,
No, they
think
said
get
unlock
out.
or unlock your door for me. I'm saying, sorry. I heard them. I thought I heard them say, unlock your door for me.
I think you're probably
Yeah.
right. Okay, so now Corporal 51, I think, was at the door and he just opened it and I said, I don't understand why I'm being arrested.
And you just don't talk to me or even answer my questions. I didn't do anything. I've never even been arrested in my life. You guys are the evil people. We're just trying to help you. You should be helping us, protecting and serving, remember?
Ooh, got him. That hurts.
And he just slams the door on her.
Yep, just slams the door. Damn, I've done a wrong to a person I shouldn't have. Damn.
The title of this video should be Sovereign Citizen Delusions. First off, we're going to take this to the most ridiculous. Mr. Arrested on the unregistered motorcycle. We're going to go into his comment first. Oh, they need a warrant. They needed me to open up my door. By that logic, you could hide in your house, car, anywhere after committing a crime, and there's nothing they can do about it. So that's false. If you're committing a crime and you're in your car, they can break your window and get you out. I would say common fact, but apparently these people are skipping over factual information. Second, just the delusions. He slammed the door not because, oh, you got me. No, it's because they were done talking to dumb, uneducated people. Protect and serve. Oh, you want us to protect and serve the criminals? No, I'm going to actually look out for society. Thanks, though. Like, oh, you want me to protect a sovereign citizen? Nah, pass. Sorry. You broke the law. You're in the back of the car. Deal with it.
It's ridiculous, bro.
That's a Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard the Discord turn on. So these mics we have here, she had the one on
Yeah,
her.
I was mic'd up, so I had my mic on this whole time. That's what that is.
I'm in the back of a cop car right now.
This is this
They're arresting me, and I think they're going to be arresting Matthew. They told me I'm a sovereign citizen. That's what they asked me if I was, and they're not listening to anything. There are at least 3 cops here.
That was I had a little audio clip that I clipped into Discord on Right to Travel, I think.
Are you going to give me your name?
Here's the first time, I guess, huh?
Jones, I identify you either way, so
I don't
make a difference to me.
You're not answering my questions.
I don't have to answer your questions. You answer my
I
questions.
thought you protect and serve us. You serve us.
Now you're breaking the law.
How am I breaking the law?
You're interfering in my investigation.
What what?
I'm asking you to identify yourself, that's it. That's how this all started. This could have went
No,
way
you didn't.
easier.
No,
Yes,
you
it
called
was.
me a sovereign citizen. That's what you did.
But what are you?
What? I'm a human being. What are you?
Okay.
I'm not a sovereign citizen like you tell me I am.
Okay.
That's not
You have
okay
any
to
injury- you
say.
have any injuries?
Yeah, my back hurts so bad and it has glass in it.
Okay.
You broke my window for no reason. You're threatening me and you're arresting me for no reason at all. For just being human. Can't I just ride? Can't I just travel on the roads? Can't I travel on the roads for free? That's how we are supposed to be alive. No. That's all he kept saying.
it was like 5 or 6.
Lawsuit. The biggest.
Not right.
No. Drive.
Ah, there it is! There it is! We got one, coach! We got the phrase! Now we know this is what they teach them to say.
What did he say?
Go back 10 seconds.
Yeah, I got it.
Driving is a privilege and not a right.
No.
Pause it!
Wait.
There it is! Driving is a privilege and not a right. I can't
Exactly.
wait to litigate this in my Hood River. Because what we already established on the record is them saying that and then backtracking and saying, no, you're right. I see you have Black Law's Dictionary. I can't call you a sovereign citizen. I can call this other person a sovereign citizen. Oh, the car's not registered. That's right. It's not my car, right? Okay, well, you're right then. Have a good day. Like, that's how this is supposed to work. But they don't get it for some reason. So what we're starting to see is that through bulletins, emails, some kind of systematic training even, that they are given false information that they tend and end up believing, which is a falsification of the true facts of their own municipal codes, when the definitions like street, public road, county road, highway, or even byway comes up as open, quote, verbatim, open as a matter of right for public vehicular travel, unquote.
Remember, guys, Black's Law Dictionary. You've already been proven that you are intentionally misquoting things, but we're going to go to the normal things for the right to travel, which, blinding, but it's not at all what they're talking about. So, the right to travel. Let's go here. The right to travel means the right to enter one state and leave another, the right to be treated as a welcome visitor rather than a hostile stranger, and for those wanting to become permanent residents, the right to be treated as equally to native-born citizens. So, where does that say you can drive willy-nilly with no driver's license? Oh, that's right, it doesn't. It is a privilege. It is a privilege to drive. We're done watching that video. Now we're going to watch a court video. I hesitate to do this because it's going to be annoying, but I am going to show you the channel. I am not going to link their channel in the description because I know you guys are going to go over there and ruin their existence because they're stupid people who don't deserve to be on YouTube. So let me pull up this page. All right. So their page is Power Inherent in the People. How they have 41,000 views, the world may never know. They 855, 888, 1.7. And in all reality, these ones are only getting views by us shitting on them in the comment section. So I'm a bit confused by that. We're going to jump to another right to travel type thing. It's the Universal Declaration of Human Rights from December 10th, 1948. And we're going to go down, and if you notice, it's going to be purple, freedom of movement, because we've already talked about it. Articles 12 through 17. The freedom of movement, mobility rights, and or the right to travel is a human rights concept encompassing the rights of individuals to travel from place to place within the territory of a country. Travel. Do you have feet? Congratulations, you can travel. Anything else is a privilege. Driving a motorcycle, privilege. Driving a car, privilege. You need a driver's license, registration, and proof of insurance. But we're going to go right down to this, encompassing the rights of individuals to travel from place to place within the territory of a country, and to leave the country and return to it. The rights included not only visiting places, but changing the place where the individual resides or works. So, that sounds almost exactly like Sinise vs. Roe. Shocker. It's almost as if that's where they got it from. I'm under the impression that they read that and went, no, that makes sense. We're going to say that. So them trying to... There was no gotcha moment in that video. There was just them being delusional, trying to cope with their, menial existence. They have delusions of grandeur. They're losers. That's, in my experience, sovereign citizens are indeed losers that have to come up with a way for them to be right, for them to be noticed, for them to be bigger than they are. Sovereign citizens do this, Moors do this, frauditors do this. That's just what it is. We are going to jump to Hearn Court in Butler County, Kansas, and the judge is just going to be like, you're a sovereign citizen. Sorry. I'm going to break in when I have to break in. This is going to be, again, from Old Squishy Gardner. Enjoy it.
Next case, State of Kansas versus Sidney Taylor Leslie. 25 CR 250. Good
Yes, Your Honor.
afternoon, Miss Leslie. Miss Leslie, you're charged by way of information on or about May 21, 2025 in Butler County, Kansas, with interference with law enforcement, a Class A non-person misdemeanor. Count 2, same date and location, no proof of insurance, a Class B non-person misdemeanor. Same date and location. Count 3, no driver's license in possession, an unclassified non-person misdemeanor. Though, then count 4, same date and location, failure to register vehicle, and unclassified non-person misdemeanor. And Miss Leslie, do you understand the charges pending against you?
I comprehend the alleged charges against me.
Thank you, Miss Leslie. Miss Leslie, you do have the right to counsel. If you cannot afford an
Excuse me.
attorney. Pardon me?
Excuse me, I was going to say that I comprehend the certain statutory allegations that have been made against me, but I cannot and do not admit to understanding or accepting the jurisdiction of this court over my person or the subject matter absent proof of corpus delicti and a verified complainant from an injured party. To do so would constitute a waiver of fundamental rights, which I explicitly refuse to waive pursuant to KSA subsection 60-212 in the doctrine of special appearance recognized in Kansas jurisprudence.
So this was a great break-in point because the judge paused for like 10 seconds because he's probably thinking, what in the word salad was that? So let's again break this down. They use the no victim, no crime fallacy early on in their little thing. Corpus delicti is where they base this from, and corpus delicti is a common law Latin phrase that translates to body of the crime. And they read that as, okay, there needs to be a physical body. But this is just a principle that refers to no one should be convicted of a crime without sufficient evidence that the crime actually occurred. So there could be tons of things that qualify as corpus delicti, a actual dead body being one of those, but also video evidence of you doing the crime, you recording you doing the crime, the officer recording doing the crime, the officer seeing you doing the crime, them running your license and coming back with, oh shit, you don't have a license. This is all evidence of you breaking the law. So her saying corpus delicti just proves that she doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. And earlier she said she doesn't understand. Well, we just watched that whole clip. We know damn well that you don't understand.
Okay. You do have the right to counsel. If you cannot afford an attorney, one would be appointed to represent you. And Miss Leslie, are you currently employed?
For the record, Your Honor, just to start from the beginning, I, Sydney Taylor Leslie, appearing specially and not generally in propria persona, sui juris, as a living woman and not as a legal fiction or corporate entity, I reserve all rights without prejudice pursuant to KSA subsection 84-1-308 and UCC 1-308. Let the record reflect that my appearance today is under explicit protest and duress and solely for the purpose of challenging jurisdiction and preserving my unalienable rights as secured by the Constitution for the United States of America and the Constitution of the State of Kansas. And Your Honor, before these proceedings advance further, I must respectfully challenge this court's jurisdiction in toto and move for immediate dismissal of all charges. I hereby invoke the burden-shifting doctrine established in State v. Shepard in 2009 and State v. Seams in 2004, which places the affirmative burden upon the prosecution to establish by sworn non-hearsay allegations within the four corners of a valid charging instrument that every element of the alleged offense and my commission thereof has been properly established. The threshold matter of jurisdiction must be adjudicated prior to any other proceedings. As articulated in Ex parte Young in 1908 and recognized by the Kansas Supreme Court, jurisdiction is the fundamental prerequisite to all jurisdictional proceedings. The legal maxim ex injuria just non autora, law does not arise from injustice, applies to these proceedings in their entirety.
All right, guys, this is going to hurt my soul to read because I hate reading legit like cases. So this is going to be a decision. It's going to be, let me make sure I have this correctly. State v. Shepard 159, New Hampshire 163, and it's from 2003. So the New Hampshire Supreme Court, State v. Shepard, addressed how to handle evidence that the prosecution improperly withheld from the defense. I don't see where she's going with this, but okay. So it is about shifting the burden to the state, but she has to do a few things first. So this is about the defense must show that the prosecution knowingly withheld favorable evidence that was exculpatory or impeaching. She did not do that. She didn't show anything. Mafeelin's jurisdiction were held. That's all she did. The only thing she proved was that she's stupid, I guess. So if she was to prove that, the burden would shift to the state. But it actually says right here in part 3, if the defense fails to prove knowledge of withholding, then the defense retains the burden to show materiality. So what it reads to me, not an attorney, is that if this burden flipping or burden switching doctrine was to apply to this case, she must show that the prosecution is intentionally hiding favorable evidence to her side. But since she couldn't prove that, she still has to show everything. The burden is on her. And I don't think it's going to go well for her.
Okay, and the court finds that Miss Leslie is appearing as a sovereign citizen before the court, and the court once again.
I object to any of that derogatory. It's very biased. I move for immediate dismissal on those grounds and disqualification.
Court overrules the motion for dismissal of the case.
Court
overrules dismissal of the
prejudice
case.
And
the court will find that Miss Leslie, that the court does find it has jurisdiction to proceed, and subsequently the court
I
sets your next
object. You
appearance
called me
date.
a sovereign citizen. I object. You called me a sovereign citizen.
Yes, ma'am.
That is prejudice and bias.
No prejudice or bias is asserted as to yourself. However, the court, as opposed to trying to write down docket notes to that effect, is just recognizing what you are advising the court, that the court has no jurisdiction over you, and based on your statement made to the court. Subsequently, the court does find you've posted a $3,000 cash bond. $3,000 cash bond has been made. Court does accept the same, and the court does schedule this matter next before Judge Webster on Monday, August 11, 2025 at 9 a.m. Monday, August 11, 2025, 9 a.m. before Judge Webster. Once again, Monday, August 11, 2025, 9 a.m. before Judge Webster. You do need to participate by Zoom process at that point. Subsequently, the court finds that Miss Leslie has not requested court-appointed counsel. Court does not appoint counsel at this point. The court does find that she has posted bond in the amount of $3,000 cash, $3,000 cash bond, and the court has scheduled her next appearance date before Judge Webster on Monday, August 11, 2025 at 9 a.m.
Now, here's the part that pisses me off about sovereign citizens in court. So she is pissed off that they called her a sovereign citizen. Well, sweetheart, the shoe fits. If let's go with Al-Qaeda. If you say everything Al-Qaeda says and do everything Al-Qaeda does, and then they call you part of Al-Qaeda or an Al-Qaeda supporter, you can't be bitchy and say, oh, that's derogatory. You're doing these things, so I'm going to address you as such. Second, this is, again, the pissy part. She's looking around doing this, looking at, I'm assuming, her boyfriend, who more seems like got her into this. And she's holding up a piece of paper. You can go back a couple frames here, and it says enhanced arraignment script. So more than likely what happened is she either bought it or somebody wrote it up for her. Break in case of fire, say this. If court says this, say this. And right now, we're a hefty amount into this, and she is failing.
Any other matters to come before the court, Mr. Sweeney
No, Your Honor.
and Miss Leslie?
Your Honor, my jurisdictional challenge is predicated upon multiple independent grounds, each sufficient to warrant dismissal. First, I challenge personal jurisdiction pursuant to Kansas Rule of Civil Procedure. I appear specially, not generally, and have not consented to this court's jurisdiction. The record before this court is devoid of evidence establishing proper jurisdiction over my person as a living woman rather than a legal fiction or corporate entity, as distinguished in Hale v. Hinkle in 1906, and recognized in Kansas jurisprudence. Second, I challenge subject matter jurisdiction pursuant to Kansas Rule of Civil Procedure 60-212, B1. No verified complainant from any injured party has been filed as required by KSA subsection 22-2301 in Butler County Local Rule 3.1. The perpetrated charges arise from actions of agents of the state acting under a color of law, not from a legitimate controversy between adversarial parties withstanding as required by Article 3 jurisprudential principles adopted by Kansas courts in State ex rel. Morrison versus Celebius. Third, I challenge territorial jurisdiction. The alleged incident occurred after I had ceased operating my conveyance and was exercising my unalienable right to travel, placing it outside the territorial jurisdiction of traffic enforcement under KSA subsection 8-244, which by its plain language applies only to licensees.
So if I understood her correctly, she's claiming that because her car was turned off after being pulled over at a traffic stop, they can no longer enforce traffic law because, that's like a caveat to the home base rule, I guess. We've seen this not fly in several body cams on Booze and Body Cam where they'll pull in to a parking spot, turn off the car and be like, "Whoa, you didn't get me in time, officer." That's not how traffic law works. Sorry.
Who have voluntarily entered the regulatory framework. Fourth, the prosecution cannot establish the corpus delicti of the alleged offenses. As held by the Kansas Supreme Court in State v. Stern in 2015, the corpus delicti rule serves as a safeguard against convictions based on false confessions or statements. One cannot interfere with a peace officer absent of officer's lawful execution of duties. Where the initial detention was unlawful, as it was here due to lack of probable cause, there can be no derivative crime or of interference. Fifth, the refusal to provide identification is not a crime in Kansas, absent specific statutory circumstances not present here today. This is in support by Brown versus Texas in 1979. The Supreme Court held that detaining a person solely to obtain identification violates the Fourth Amendment absent reasonable suspicion of criminal activity. The principle has been recognized and applied by Kansas courts. In one moment, please, while I gather another statement. Okay, and another thing is, and this is, may it please the court, for the record, I must now enter an oral objection and motion for disqualification of the presiding judicial officer pursuant to Kansas Rule 2.11 of the Code of Judicial Conduct, as well as controlling principles under the Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment. During a prior proceeding specifically, that's proceeding, this court referred to me by the term sovereign citizen, a pejorative classification which carries with its government manufactured implications of extremism, frivolous, and legal irrelevance. This label, unprovoked and unsupported by any factual predicate, constitutes a stigmatizing judicial characterization that violates my right to a neutral and detached tribunal.
The use of that term demonstrates either a prejudiced bias or a judicial predeposition toward delegating the substance of my legal posture. As the Kansas Supreme Court has held, even the appearance of partially mandates recusal, and here the record reflects actual prejudice in open court.
Like I said, I'm going to be jumping in from time to time to be translating from stupidity back to English. What she said is, "Oh, you found me out, Judge. You found out I was a sovereign citizen when you called me on it." That's mean. I deserve a new judge. I'm not getting the answers that I want, so I'm going to try to mom and pop a different judge. You're going to get a different judge, a judge that simply does not take this type of shit in court. Judge Webster is going to own your entire existence if you try this nonsense bullshit in court. Like, that's just what it is. So you're not going to get a new judge. You're not going to get the judge to recuse himself. You're not going to get this case dismissed because the judge had the nerve to call you what you are. Like, you're using the script from a sovereign citizen. So he called you a sovereign citizen. And because you don't like what the baggage that comes with doing what you're doing, you're playing victim.
Wherefore, I respectfully move this honorable court to dismiss all charges with prejudice for lack of jurisdiction, issue a finding that the prosecution has failed to meet its burden of establishing jurisdiction, order the immediate return of all my property seized, including the 251 USD, confiscated and converted to a reloadable Visa card without my consent, order the expungement and permanent sealing of every associated record pursuant to KSA subsection 22-2410, award compensation for the full measure of damages sustained, including costs for my automobile window repair, bail costs, and compensation for unlawful detention and deprivation of liberty, grant such and other and further relief as this court deems just and proper. The breaking of my automobile window without warrant or probable cause of a search and confiscation of my currency constitutes violations of clearly established rights for which the law provides remedies pursuant to the maxim ubi jus ibi ridium, where there is a right, there is a remedy. I reserve all rights without prejudice, waive none, and maintain my special appearance for the sole purpose of challenging jurisdiction and preserving my alienable rights as secured by the Constitution for the United States of America and the Constitution of the State of Kansas. And thank you for hearing me. I do appreciate you, Your Honor, and thank you for your time.
And once again, matter is set before Judge Webster on Monday, August 11, 2025, 9 a.m. by Zoom. There being nothing further to come before the court is in recess, and have a good day, Miss Leslie.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And Mr. Sweeney, that's the last case I show on the first appearance docket.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Have a good day.
You too.